Hi there. I'm a citizen of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar. I've been a bit concerned that some political opportunists and the traders from our country, backed by the worthless media such as BBC Burmese, RFA, and so on, have been betraying my country and the government. They've been systematically accusing our government of being a racist regime, especially with regards to what has recently been happening in the Western Myanmar, in Rakhine State, with the Bengali illegal immigrants who claim themselves to be Rohingya. I, as a Myanmar citizen, would like to make it clear to you that we have never heard of the term Rohingya before. We have never had Rohingya in our history. We only had the Bengali illegal immigrants who happened to cross over the border to come into our country and who wanted to settle there. Well, whether they are granted citizenship or not clearly depends on the citizenship law. It's nothing to do with the government. It's to do with the law. And in fact, the government is trying to enforce the law by trying to verify their nationality status. If they are entitled to the citizenship according to the law, then yes, they will be granted Myanmar citizenship. Otherwise, they will not be granted citizenship, and something else have to be done for their fate. In doing so, the government is applying the 1982 citizenship law. Some people say that 1982 citizenship law is not fair. From my point of view, it is absolutely fair. It was drafted under the previous regime, which one may or may not necessarily call that dictatorial regime. But in any case, when the law was drafted, it has taken into account the desire of the people and the needs of the country, and therefore it is absolutely fair. And this law is accepted and supported by most citizens of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar. And I personally, and also as a citizen, do not see the need to amend or abolish this 1982 citizenship law at all. And I would like to continue talking a little bit about the multiculturalism and so on, as well as the racism. Enforcing the immigration laws on the foreigners, especially to the illegal immigrants, is not racism. It's about simply enforcing the law, and it's about the rule of law that we all have been talking about. And the country needs to make sure that its borders are secure. I'm sure this is the case in any country. If you think about Australia, for example, the illegal immigrants are put in the detention centers on Christmas Island, and some of them are even sent to the foreign detention centers in Southeast Asia. In our country, we are, like I just said earlier, trying to verify the nationality status of the Bengali immigrants. And if they're not entitled to citizenship, then we will deport them to the country of origin. And if this is not possible, we will put efforts to send them to a third country which is willing to accept them. If neither of these options happens, then we will offer them refugee camps administered by UNHCR. We as taxpayers do not want our money to be used in these worthless refugee camps. So UNHCR should really fund these refugee camps. Under any circumstances, we cannot grant citizenship to illegal immigrants. The president has made it clear, and this is the law, and this decision has been supported by the majority of the citizens of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar. So it's absolutely the people's desire. Quite clearly, multiculturalism does not work. Just look at England and Sweden, Holland, Germany, and so on. And you can also look at some countries like Australia. Multiculturalism fails simply because those newcomers want to take over, want to dominate, and want to get rid of the cultural identity of the indigenous people. We do not want to be discriminated in our own country. I would like you to know that patriotism is not racism. I do not find English Defence League racist at all. EDL is simply protecting the cultural identity of the British people, from my point of view. I have lived in England for over 10 years, and I have never met a single racist member of EDL. They are actually quite nice people. Patriotism, again, is not racism. I'd like to give you an example. Just look at places like Bradford. Because of the illegal immigrants or migrants, legal maybe, when they become to dominate the area, and after becoming citizens, lawfully or unlawfully, I'm not sure. In any case, after becoming citizens, become dominant part of that city, it becomes quite difficult for the law enforcement agencies to uphold the law. When someone from their community pick up troubles, and if the police wants to arrest, they actually hesitate to do so. They hesitate to take action because they may be labeled as racist. They're going to play the race card. In the case of our country, the political opportunists, including Burma Campaign UK and people like Zani, etc., are trying to bring harm to our country. They are trying to sow misunderstanding on our country by the international community. I would like the international community to understand that we are trying to enforce our immigration laws and keep our borders secured. At the same time, we would like to preserve our cultural identity. We do not want our citizens to be discriminated in our own land. That's all we want. We are not discriminating anyone. We are not against anyone. We are not racist. We just want to protect our country. We just simply do not want to give citizenship to people who are not entitled to according to the law. We are law-abiding citizens. If you are trying to harm our country, if you are trying to betray our government by means of propaganda and other kinds of pressure, be assured that you will not succeed. We, the citizens of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, fully support our government. We are united. We stand united behind our president and our government. We will always uphold our country's laws. We will defend our country's laws. We will defend our country. Any attempt to harm our country will be met with failure. Again, we are united and we support our government.